This interview was brought to you by Hard Force and Metalxs.
Well, the second time we were at Roskilde, it was just a nightmare, the whole trip, because it was raining the entire time, and it's a true mudfest, right? And also we got a hold of some really, let's put it this way, worse than moonshine booze, and everybody got really aggressive when drinking it. So it was just a bad mood generally, and rain, pouring rain, and yeah. The recording process was slightly different from the previous albums. We wanted to have a more natural way of recording, because these days mostly when you record, it's like you record bit by bit basically, but we wanted to have longer takes of everything, and especially when we recorded the drums, the guitarist and the bass player, they were playing along with the drums the entire takes to really get the feel of the entirety. And I think that's a really good way to do it, because when you kind of go in too much into like the small details and start to record bit by bit and all that stuff, you tend to lose a little bit of the groove, like a little bit of the vibrant feel that you get from a live song. And we kind of wanted to go there more than, so we changed it that way. Otherwise it wasn't much of a difference really. Obviously working with a new producer, he has his way of working, so it's slightly different that way, but all in all, you know, you go into the studio and you put down your tracks and you're done. You go home and drink beer. Loki is he's a foster brother of Odin. He's actually born of giants, so he's kind of like a giant, but he grows up with the gods in Asgard. One thing that someone said once, I forget his name now, but he told me he saw that Loki was the balance between chaos and order, between the gods and the giants in the universe of Norse mythology, and I kind of think that's a good way to describe him, because he's very good at getting the gods out of trouble. Unfortunately, he's usually the cause of the trouble, so he's kind of a funny character that way. He can, you know, do great things, be like this fantastic person, and then in the next second just be petty, selfish, even cruel and evil, you know. So it's kind of a mixed character, which I think is very interesting. It's something that we've talked about for a long time, but not specific. I mean, I think I got to know Messiah like 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, when we did like an appearance together on a Dio tribute on Sweden Rock Cruise. So we hung out that night and we were talking, and I said we would have loved to do like a, you know, have him as a guest vocalist, and he said he would be up for it. But you know how it is, you know, you meet when you're drunk, and you know, you talk a lot, so you say, yeah, he's kind of a legend, so you know, he was just being nice, you know. And then he came out to our show in Stockholm about a year ago, and again we started talking, and you know, again he said he would be interested in doing that. Again we thought, well, you know, just stuff that you say. But then we wrote this song, and we felt that we needed or wanted to have a different voice on it, and we all kind of immediately felt that his voice would contribute so much to the song that we said, well, we should call him and see if he's willing to do it. And he said sure, so he came out to the studio and recorded the song for us. Vegan, I'm not sure. Vegetarian, I could do. As long as I can eat cheese and eggs, that would be fine. No, I mean, I like a good steak, definitely, I do. But since my wife is vegetarian, you know, a lot of the food that we eat at home is vegetarian. I don't mind it. I think it's good food. But every once in a while, I need to cook up a good steak or have some bacon. So it would be difficult for me to live without bacon, I think.
This interview was presented by Hard Force and Metalxs.